Hello and welcome. This is Glasgow Rangers Nation. I'm Aaron James, and this is all your latest Rangers news, guys. As we begin the build-up towards the return of real, proper, genuine football, the international break, which feels like it has gone on forever, feels like the school holidays when you were a kid. You know, when they lasted, just seemed to last for months, even though it was only 6 weeks, 7 weeks, whatever it was. It did seem to last for months, didn't it? It seems like forever since we actually played football, real football, proper football, and didn't have this boring international crap that we have to put up with every 4 to 5 weeks at this moment in time. And bad news, guy, there's another one coming in November, another international break in November. No wonder the players are ready to go on strike over these international breaks. Anyway, look, we're going to build up towards Sunday's game. Now, look, Killy away, Rugby Park, always a tough game, that horrible plastic pitch. Killy seemed to be returning to some form after their European hangover at the start of the season. You know, the inability to cope with playing Thursday, Sundays. You know, look, I think, you know, if you haven't got a massive squad, if you haven't got a big squad, or you haven't got the experience of playing in Europe, you know, it is, you know, with the travel and obviously the extra game put in there, it is a big thing. And, you know, Rangers have shown that we can cope over the years through the Europa League and the Sunday games because of the size of the squad and the ability to rotate. You know, Celtic have kind of turned up in Europe. They haven't really done a lot, and then they've come back into the league and done okay. So, I mean, they've struggled in Europe, which is always funny. 7-1. Anyway, so look, this game on Sunday is going to be tough. It will be tough. Killy will be bang up for it. Killy will be in our faces. Derek McInnes will have his team raring to go. You know, Derek McInnes may even see it as been, you know, a sort of what's the word? A mock interview for the Rangers job if Clement was to be sacked. Maybe, I don't know. Just putting 2 and 2 together and getting 5. You know, Killy have got some good players. They've got some, you know, top players. You know, and look, they were never going to be a situation where a team that finished 4th last season and did so well were going to be, you know, awful all season. And I think, like I said, once that European hangover was over, you know, that's obviously something that they were going to obviously get back to their normal form. Now, last time out for them, they won 3-2 with 3 very late goals against Dundee, you know, showing a bit of signs perhaps of finally kicking back into life. 2 goals from Matty Kennedy and 1 from Bruce Anderson. God, I love someone like Bruce. What a name. But, you know, if you look at their team on paper, they've got some good players there. You know, there's Vassell, there's Armstrong, there's Watson, Kennedy, Lewis Mayo, who's been, you know, been top, and Robbie McCrory, obviously, in the return of, keep forgetting, Robbie McCrory is obviously at Kilmarnock now as well. Obviously, I think, you know, Robbie is bound to have an absolute worldie, isn't he, when he plays against us on Sunday? He's bound to be suddenly become the greatest keeper ever to have seen the Ibrox Park. It's standard. It's standard. Anyway, look, one of the players I think, you know, we do need to start to see a little bit more of in this squad and in the starting 11 is Narasheo Kasanwirjo. Very difficult to say. Nana, Kas, whatever you want to call him. He played during the week for the Holland or the Dutch or the Netherlands under 21s, whatever you wish to call them, and was fantastic. 2 assists, played exceptionally well. You know, he's come on, he came on against Lyon, looked good, tracked his runners, looked quality, again, did very well. He came on against St Johnstone and again looked good, looked quality, you know, and actually at times was trying to fire up the opposition, you know, was really, you know, trying to fire up the Rangers team and get them going. So, you know, this is a lad that, you know, we've got on loan and there's an option to buy there for Kasanwirjo. So you kind of start to think, well, you know, if he's on loan with an option to buy, why are we actually not seeing him? How can you make a judgment on whether this player is someone you want to keep if you're not actually playing him? If you're giving him 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there, 10 minutes there, here, and so on and so forth, and he's not getting regular first team minutes. You know, the one thing that kind of stood out for me when James Tavernier was took off against Lyon and Kas went into right back was the defence didn't look as wobbly on that side, and they didn't have an ability to target our right side because Kas, you know, tracked his runners. He stood up against his runners. He was quick. He was strong. John Suter wasn't constantly getting pulled out of position because he was having to babysit Tav. He didn't have to babysit Kas. You know, I'm hoping, genuinely hoping that this weekend the manager finally shows some balls and drops the millstone around Rangers' neck, drops the absolute dog-shite player who is dragging this team down and is leading to players, having to play out of position constantly because of him. Barron getting dragged into the right back slot, Cherney getting dragged back all the time, Suter getting dragged out. If you watch the games, go back and, like I keep saying to all you Tav fanboys out there and all you think Tav should start because, he's the captain, he's got to start, he's the captain. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Just because he's a captain doesn't mean he has to start, because Jurgen Klopp dropped Jordan Henderson, who was Liverpool captain, on numerous occasions. So there you go. Steven Gerrard was still club captain at Liverpool when Jurgen Klopp dropped him. Manchester United, Alex Ferguson dropped Roy Keane on a number of occasions when he was club captain. Top managers are not scared to drop their captain. They're just not. Okay, they just don't do it. Top managers, Sir Alex Ferguson, Arne Slot, Jurgen Klopp. These are top managers, real proper managers, and these guys are not afraid to drop the captain. So I'm sorry, just because he's captain is not a reason to start him. I mean, what would you do if you had one leg still starting because he's captain? I think some of our fans would actually like to see that, just because it's James Tavernier, it's Tav FC. We love Tav. Fuck off and worship your cult. So for me, Kas has got to start. He really genuinely has. I think he would bring. He brings the solidity to the defence. He brings a quality to the defence, and again, it would lead to, I believe, a bigger ability for the team to hold their shape, a bigger ability for the team to play forward, a bigger ability for the team to actually, have that formation and have that shape and style. Because, like I said, you watch when we have to defend and Suter's playing right back, Barron's dropping back into the right back slot, Raskin's doing it, Cherney's doing it, everyone's doing it just to cover one player. And I wouldn't mind if that player was, Lionel Messi, or that player was Cristiano Ronaldo, or that player was Kylian Mbappe, or someone like that. But James Tavernier ain't any of those. He genuinely isn't. He's Jim Smith from the Dog and Duck. That's what he is now. So look, there does need to be some balls from the manager and actually put Kas into the right back slot. Now we have an option to buy, which apparently is around 1.5 million for Kas, which I think will be a bargain for a player who is, quite clearly a very good defender. But like I said, how do you make an informed judgment if you're never going to play the guy in his right position and never actually, actually see what the guy can do? The manager finally needs to develop a set of balls and drop James Tavernier. He must do it. He's got to do it. There is literally no other choice. I mean, this is how I would line up on Sunday against Killy. Butland in goal, Suter and Prop. I'd make Suter the captain on Sunday. Because people keep going, well, who would you make your captain? We haven't got one. You can't make it. It's got to be James. It's got to be James. Ooh, James. Shut up. Kasanwirjo at right back, Hiefte at left back, Barron and Raskin and Diamande in midfield. I think for me, Tom Lawrence is probably not going to be fit. Bayrami, didn't look great in that 10 role, but by that same token, we just don't have enough wingers at the moment to make those changes. McCausland is not a left winger. He doesn't look great on the left. He only plays on the right, but Cherney seems to want to play solely on the right. So Bayrami can play left, so that's why I put Bayrami in there. Dio as the most forward of the three, or even perhaps swap it round. Make Barron the most forward of the three. Barron played a lot more advanced when he came on against St Johnstone and actually looked quite good in that position. Just don't play Kieran Dowell. Destin has to start up front because literally there is nobody else to start up front. Hamza is still learning the game. Deno, obviously, we don't know what the fitness situation is with Deno. I've read some reports this morning that Deno could be back on the bench on Sunday. I've read some that says he's not going to be ready for another 2 or 3 weeks. It's all up in the air as regards Deno. I think obviously we'll find out more after the manager's press conference in the build-up to the game. But for me, Kas has got to be given the chance to start, the chance to show that he could be the future right back of this football club. Dujon Sterling obviously is there as well. He could play there, although he can play CDM, he can play wing. I think Dujon obviously has kind of put himself in a position where he's such a useful utility player now that he perhaps isn't going to be considered in that right back slot, which is sad for Duge. Of course it is, but that's the way it unfortunately has seemed to have gone under Clement. But look, for me, Kas has got to start on Sunday. He just must start. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you smash the like, smash the sub, ring the bell, do all that good stuff. Drop a comment, drop a share. All brilliant stuff, guys. And remember always, we are the people.